What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG back. Match reaction time. Huge game today. Massive game. And it was a second half, more so was a better part of the game. But listen, it was like an old school battle today. Real old school. Leeds United 2, Manchester United 4. Hey, I got my prediction wrong by 1 goal. We scored one more than I thought. But listen, I want to get all your comments in. Get all your comments in, and we're going to talk together about this one. Not really sure how I feel. I feel good about the fight back at the start of the second half. But for me, you give yourself the best chance of winning a game from the start, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Before we go on, please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and let's get through it. Let's get through it. I mean, Aaron here saying you don't deserve to stay in the league, conceding 3+ goals each game. Yep, we're so leaky. I mean, we'll talk about the goals and everything else like that. But yeah, Tom as well. The game is 90 minutes, not 30 minutes. We lack creativity. And yeah, we're going to get into that because for me, there's just certain things. And listen, you guys have been asking me to do a watch along. And I was almost there. I was almost there with you. I almost set the thing up and said, you know what, let's do a watch along. And then the news came out that RAPHINHA was benched today. And listen, my head was gone. I'm not going to lie to you. My head had gone. You've literally got your biggest game at home in how long in the league? In how long? The best player, natural, talented player that we've had since Harry Kewell to be here at Leeds United, and he gets benched. Now, listen, I was curious of people's reactions to it, and I saw the comments online and everything else like that, and I saw people actually justifying it, saying RAPHINHA hasn't been good in the last 2 games. I was like, well, that's fair. He hasn't been good in the last 2 games, but there's been players that haven't been good pretty much all season that are starting today. So that doesn't wash with me. That doesn't wash with me that you drop your best player. Now, if I was to go to you at the start of the season in these games and say we're going to play Man United, choose who you're going to pick to play out of either Calvin Phillips or RAPHINHA, you'd have a hard time choosing. But if I told you that we're going to go in without either Calvin Phillips and RAPHINHA, you'd be like, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. But yeah, I saw people justifying that decision. We saw Jack Harrison start today, and apart from that shot that he blazed over in the first 4 minutes, he was anonymous in the first half. He was anonymous in the first half. Rodrigo likewise too in the first half, anonymous. But you don't drop your players of that quality when they can produce something out of nothing. You just don't. And that decision for me, I don't know. I think I'm starting to see that there is a bit of a divide. I mean, we can see there's a divide in the fan base. Things are getting a little bit spiky with people's not accepting people's opinions here and there and everything else like that. But I am starting to see that there is more people that probably support Bielsa more than they do Leeds United. I am starting to see that now because I just don't see how you can justify dropping RAPHINHA when there's so many other players that you could drop for him. Sorry, I just don't see it. You know, it was a surprise to see Stuart Dallas back in there. I didn't think he was going to make it. But I just don't know how you start off on the wrong foot against Manchester United at home. Just think about that. Man United at home. This is RAPHINHA's playground. He loves these kind of games. And I know whatever's going on behind the scenes with the contract or, you know, the lack of January activity that we didn't do, whether that's affected him. I get it. I do get it, but you don't drop him. You could have dropped Harrison. James on the left, RAPHINHA on the right, Gelhardt front or Rodrigo if you have to, but you don't take out RAPHINHA. Sorry. You just don't. Not in our biggest game in however long. Yeah. It's I mean, listen, you know what? You haven't been good in all fairness with your feedback, Mr. Dambod. Off you go, man. Because it's not a generalization. It's not a sweeping statement to say. I just see people doing the utmost gymnastics to try and justify a Bielsa decision every time. And I just don't get it. I don't get why people keep doing it. How do you justify putting down your 60 to 70 million pound player on the bench versus Man United at home? You guys explain that to me. I'm sure we'll come back to it, but listen, we'll keep going. Max Power, there's no such thing as an honourable loss. We are going to need every point from now on. Keep the rage going, KG, loving your work. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not really raging about it now. I'm just very confused by it. I'm just very confused. Every time there's a decision made by Bielsa, there just seems to be something puzzling happens after. You know, you put in Forshaw back in the midfield to shore things up. I get it, extra midfielder, we need that. But to take out your best player, nah, not for me. Not for me. P matters, yo, bro. Rafinha will be off. Yeah, I'm resigned to that already. I'm I'm resigned to Rafinha going. Yeah. Rebecca G, spot on. People are so supporters of Bielsa, he can't be criticized. He's the main reason why we are where we are. Yeah, and there's both sides of that, Rebecca. He's the reason why we've been promoted, but he's also the reason why where we are in the league this season as well. Not just through injuries, but just through tactical and decisions that are just they're mind blowing. They are. Michael Pollard, had we drawn or won this, we would have papered over the cracks in the first half. Team selection, Leeds first every time. Exactly for me, Leeds United first every time, every single time. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm just going to go through some of the points in the game. Apart from the Rafinha not starting, because that was big for me. That was big. But we saw. First thing I got to say though is that the atmosphere sounded amazing. It sounded like you wanted to be there. I wish I was there today. It sounded like it was absolutely on fire at Elland Road, and the weather condition just added to it. It added to what was a crazy, crazy, crazy game. But I thought that the first 10, 12 minutes before Robin Koch got, concussed, I thought it was a pretty lively opening from both teams. I thought that, yeah, Man United probably had the better spells of possession, but we looked all right going forward on the break. I didn't think out wide we had anything going on. It was all going through the middle. If Mateus Click could just shoot a bit, just put some pepper in his shots, who knows what would have happened. But yeah, it was a decent game. I thought Man United did edge the first half. In all fairness, we had a break though where Rodrigo could have put through Dan James, and he dilly dallied on the ball, and he floated it up, and he just went behind everybody. I don't know what was going on there, but I thought Paul Pogba today was really really good. I was surprised he came off after 66 minutes. I thought he was really good. I thought he was giving Forshaw nightmares today. Like Paul Pogba was really really good. Fernandez obviously carried the mantle after the game, after Paul Pogba went off. But it was just a bit of a mess. And when you Robin Koch as well, I just want to say that about the concussion thing. There's still a long way to go in terms of sports and concussions, because if you're being honest, once McTominay rocked him, he really shouldn't have been on the pitch. But I think there's still a long way to go in all sports. It's not just football. I see it in hockey too, basketball also, where a concussed player does need to come off straight away. And he was dizzy, you could tell. And he eventually got subbed off maybe 20 minutes later. But yeah, it was mad today. It was mad with the Robin Koch thing. He should have been off. He comes off. Junior Firpo comes on, and then we rearrange about three positions, which I just again I don't think it was necessary, but we've seen it before. We rejig everything. Luke Ayling went to centre back. Stroik moved, and Dallas, instead of just putting Dallas in midfield and Firpo at left back, we moved about three or four positions. But we're used to seeing that, aren't we? So yeah. Their goal, I mean, listen, their goal was simple: set piece, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, goal. Llorente was out muscled out of position, and it was a goal. And it was just funny today because we mentioned it before about how many times you just need a Leeds to play Leeds in order to break a duck of something. Today they broke Harry Maguire. That was his first Premier League goal of the season. Sancho got his first Premier League assist on the second goal, and that was the first goal from a set piece. Uh, we just give people these gifts, man. It's just so frustrating the way that we defend. Second goal, as I mentioned, Sancho chipped up to Fernandez, and that was an easy header in the first half stoppage time. And but the thing was before for me was Lindelof moving like he was prime Rio Ferdinand. Wow. I mean, we do that. We do that a lot with centre backs. So I remember we did it with Matip, Liverpool at home. We've done it a few times against a few centre backs where we just look like we just gift them the space of the pitch, and it's the man to man marking thing, man. It is when you've got the players that we have in the man to man marking system against the kind of players that we was trying to go up against, say in Pogba, in Bruno Fernandes. It doesn't work over 90 minutes. It's not sustainable. It just isn't. Um, and yeah, and that's what I noticed as well. After we went 1-0 down, the space just seemed to be opening up. We just seemed to open up and give them the run of the park in the midfield, and that's been a problem all season. In all fairness, so but yeah, we move on. Second half, we see Rafinha and Gelhardt come on. I mean, come on. Rafinha and Gelhardt, come on. Excellent. I mean, I personally would have started them both, but that's just me. I'm just a fan. I don't know any better. But I would have started both of those. But we saw when they came on, they gave us a bit of impetus. They gave us a bit of quality going forward. Rafinha was on it. Gelhardt, I think it was like within 2 minutes of coming on, he runs at the defense and sets something up for Mateus Click. We needed those. We needed that bit of quality what we was lacking in the first half, and that's what gave us the pathway back into the game. You know, our first. Let me just start this one. You know, our first goal, crash shot. You can't do nothing about that. Rodrigo, I think it was a shot, but listen, we'll take that all day long. De Gea, all beaten, all ends up 2-1. Like, was it 30 seconds, 30 seconds later? Rafinha goal. Good work by Dan James, who I thought was really good today as well. I want to give a shout out to Dan James. I thought he was really good. Makes a space, cut across the box, and Rafinha's there to slide it in 2-2. And you're thinking, wow, let's see what we can do from here. But at the same time, when you're thinking that, you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen now? Is it going to be us taking it forward, or are Man United just going to hit us again? And I thought, it could have gone either way. It was so the conditions made it such a anomaly in terms of the ball just sticking to the ground because it was so wet. It was a weird one. Like I say, Pogba subbed off at 66 minutes. Did surprise me because I thought he was pulling all the strings. I thought he was amazing today. I thought he was absolutely amazing. But he comes off, as did Lingard, who I didn't think really did all that much in all fairness. For Fred and Elanga. And listen, when you combine what those two did for the last 2 goals, very good subs by Ralph Ragnick. You can't really disagree with that. Fred then puts them up 3-2. I felt like the move was going in slow motion. It was a decent move. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from it, but I felt it was really, really slow. You know, Firpo loses the ball, kind of jogs back, and I think that was his second time doing that as well today. I don't know whether it's because he's rusty or not, whether the conditions just didn't suit him. But it was twice. It was twice that he kind of jogged back instead of sprinting back with full force today. And it was part of the reason why we conceded the third. But there was just no challenges in between. There was no challenges in between the ball being played through to Fred. And then Fred just puts it in. I don't know if Elliot could have done better. I'm not too sure. I'm not going to knock him for that. But it was just so easy. And it's been a problem for us all season long. We don't have the second worst defense in the league for no reason. It was just so easy to get through us, just cut through us. A coin then hits Elanga. I think if anyone had any smart money, they could have bet that somebody was going to get hit with a coin. The authorities will deal with that as they will. But all I'm saying is anybody that's complaining about any potential punishment that we get, we brought it on ourselves. It's not the first time a coin has been thrown at a player this season. So, yeah, we move on. And then there was this little patch of football where the ball was just in the midfield, and there was like slide tackle after slide tackle, and it looked like a League One game at that point. There was just slide tackles, McTominay on James, and then Fernandez on I don't even know, but it was just absolutely mad. I love to see it. I thought it was pretty funny, but I thought it was pretty funny. I thought the conditions made the game a little bit funnier than it should have been. Um, but yeah, and then I mentioned a click soft shot in 74 minutes that could have got us back into it. He just needed to put some pepper on that shot, and who knows what would have happened. It was a decent effort as well, but soft shots, man. Mateus Click, he can't shoot. He just can't shoot. So, and then Alanga wrapped it up with a pass from Fernandez, and that was 4-2, and that was the game. But I just felt that we let ourselves down with the starting lineup. Can't lie. I don't think anyone can. I mean, maybe you can. If you can justify why you drop Rafinha, I'm all ears, as long as it's in a respectful way. But I just don't see why you do that. I'm going to come to your comments now because we're going to talk through this together. Smash a like on the video. As you know, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Colin with a super chat. Thank you so much, mate. We a leak here and then the roof in the Jack Charlton stand. Another loss. Putting up a fight doesn't get you 3 points. Getting worried now. Okay. Immortal RA. How thin our squad is with injuries, we weren't going to win. All we could do was hope they give it a go. Yeah, and I think they did give it a go. Immortal, I do think that they gave it as good a go as they could with the players that we had out on the pitch. I genuinely believe that too. That's why I'm not really angry at the loss. I'm very disappointed. Don't get me wrong. Of course, it's disappointing to lose, but I did think that their effort was there. It's just the lack of quality is going to hurt us in games like this. And thank you for your super chat, Immortal. Chronicles with a super chat. Hey, buddy, what music you been listening to? I've been listening to all kinds, Chronicles. Anything from pop to grunge. My mood's been all over the place lately. So, yeah, it's been all kinds of stuff, man. Alice in Chains, Oleander, Soundgarden, yeah, NSYNC. Yeah, we move. Let's get into some of your feedback, man. Give me your thoughts, and we're gonna go through it together, people. Ian Muzzer, Bielsa dropped Rafinha after a couple bad games, but others have had loads of bad games and never been dropped, and that's my point. That's my point. Trotsky, I don't know what to make of that performance. Spirited, but we don't get points for that. We don't. We really don't. That's the problem. And I looked at a few games. Let me just see. Athena, we need to pick up something from these next few games, but I'm worried about where that will be. John H, I'm not mad at that. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I'm not mad at that shout. I can't disrespect that shout. You won't get any big pushback from me. But I think bye, and it's gonna be me kind of like just put them over the edge. But shout out to you, Lee Waters. This has baffled me for a while. We can't sell all to promotion players, yet Bielsa is untouchable. God, he deserves criticism. He's also a problem. Big up to you for the super chat, Lee Waters. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I just don't get just some of the things that it just seems you can't criticize Bielsa about. It's crazy to me that people think that you're against him or the team if you think that it's wrong that he's dropped Rafinha from a home game against Manchester United. It's crazy for me, but I'm always going to say my opinion. I'm always going to say it. So if you don't like it, there are other channels where you can hear pro Bielsa stuff all day long. So please go over there. Emma Oliver, Melier distribution terrible, Llorente terrible, 4 short school by Pogba, Rodrigo not aggressive in the press. Yeah, apart from the cross shot that Rodrigo did, I wasn't impressed with Rodrigo today. And you're right about Forshaw. I think he'll have a nightmare about Pogba today. Pogba absolutely ripped him, and there was a move where Pogba went past Forshaw. I think it was Forshaw, and then he put it through Llorente's legs, and Ronaldo just missed it. Pogba was just oozing class today. Amazing. Amelier's distribution, fully agreed today. It was not good today at all. At all. Tom saying, if we give a similar performance against Liverpool like we gave in the second half, we could get a point at least. See, the thing is for me, Tom, is that Liverpool are on a different planet to Manchester United. And I wanted to make a point of something yesterday. There was a couple games yesterday. Norwich didn't win in the end. They didn't. But what they did is they did their utmost to try and frustrate Liverpool, and it worked for a half and a bit. But they changed their tactics. You could see what they were doing. They were trying to say to Liverpool, "Hey, you guys come and break us down." I saw Burnley go away to Brighton, very tough to go there, and they win 3-0. I see Watford go to Aston Villa, who, yeah, are in stuttering form, but Watford haven't been on anything great themselves, and they go and get a 1-0 victory. And it's like, those are the kind of results where you just think the gap will get smaller if those kind of results keep happening behind us. Because what I see from other teams is their ability to adapt and change. Like today, we still went with the man-to-man system. Their first goal, how much room was in that penalty area just for Maguire just to step in and head it? There was hardly anybody's around because everyone is to their man, when you need to be a little bit more zonal. We need to adapt like we did in the second half of last season. We did that last season. I don't. People may have forgotten, but we actually did adapt the way we play in the last maybe 10, 11 games of last season. We did that. But I've not seen any evidence of us doing it this season. And again, the man-to-man thing today was never going to work. As you saw today with Forshaw versus Pogba, absolute mismatch. Absolute mismatch. Nick Norton, great point. Rafinha drop, but Click and Rodrigo start. Yeah, and you can even add Harrison into that. And I like Harrison a lot. I do. But he had, apart from the West Ham game, maybe Crew in the Cup, he's been iffy this season. But yet people thought it was, you can justify a 1.5 games worth of poor performances from Rafinha in total just to drop him from the team. I don't get it. Triple G saying reality is we're missing 2 of our important players and coming up against £1 billion team. This was always going to happen. You see, when I get you, Triple G, I do get you, but when people start mentioning the money and things like that, it gets lost for me because there's things around that. Man United have been held by Burnley. They've been held by other teams that are nowhere near their level. It's not always about the money you spend. It's about what you do with the squad you've got. And I just don't think we started off on the best foot today with leaving out the players we did. Sajale saying everyone can be criticised, including Bielsa. Yeah. Yeah, no one is above criticism. It's crazy. It's crazy that people think that you can't criticize. It's your football club. It's our football club, you know. Like we'll be here supporting Leeds United long after Bielsa's gone. So we have every right to question if we think that something's wrong. You can't just blindly follow like lemmings. That to me is crazy support. I just don't get how people do that. But each to their own, man. But I just do see people that just really side more with Bielsa than think of the benefit for Leeds United. That's pretty good. Eamon, Clicker's the record for most passbacks to the opposition goalkeeper. Fair dues. You know what? In all fairness to Click today, yes, he did look like he was running through mud more than usual due to the conditions, but he was getting into some really, really good positions today, Mateus Click. And it's been a while since I've said that about him, but his finishing is just so weak. And then when he does put some power on it, it goes into the standard. It's just unfortunate he doesn't have a better finish. But yeah, the finisher wasn't good. But I thought overall, in terms of space found and his forward play, I thought he was decent. But again, decent doesn't get the job done. Jason Lee, Dan James looks so much more comfortable on the left. He does because he's a winger. That shouldn't surprise anybody. But yeah, Dan James was really good today. Another threat, another press, the one pressing from the front. I thought Dan James was terrific today. Let's have a look. Ian Muzzer's going with rest lots of players Wednesday night to save for the Spurs game. Ooh, it's interesting because Liverpool actually did rest a couple players too. They rested Trent and Andy Robertson, which is so mad because they're going to be hungry come Wednesday. They're going to be spazzing crosses here, there, and everywhere. I shudder to think, but let's not think about Liverpool just yet. Let's get over this one today. Let's get over this one. See, as you can see, unlike the Everton one, where I was extremely, extremely frustrated and disappointed, because that's a team that you really should be looking to go to and getting something out, or at least putting in a performance in and saying we took them to the limit. Today, I didn't expect to beat Man United, so it doesn't sting as much. It's disappointing, but it doesn't sting as much. But yeah, so that's why I'm not as wound up as I was last week against Everton. Um, yeah, Max H is saying, well, that was great for 10 minutes. I hear you. Matt is saying, KJ, I'm worried. I think we'll go down. Well, mm, it's just that, I mean, we spoke on the debrief about all these things about point per game things and everything else like that. All those things to me, it's all fluff. It don't matter because you can't predict who's going to win and lose games. You try, and with the best will in the world, I don't think anyone thought Watford were going to go to Villa yesterday and win. I don't think anyone saw Burnley putting 3 past Brighton. Sean Dyche said to XG, screw your XG, we're going to get 3 goals today. And they did that against Brighton. I don't think anyone can predict that. But the thing is with those teams, even though they are bad, they have different plans. They have different plans in place to play against different teams. We just seem to be rolling out the same plan against everybody, and it doesn't work against everyone. It just doesn't. Proof's been in the pudding this season. Proof's been in the pudding. Um, Let me just go more feedback. I'm just going to go through your comments because we're going to get through this together, people. Rick, my problem is we aren't defensively set up against these type of teams. It frustrates the hell out of me. Yeah, I mean, I said in my preview that I did with Saeed, I would love to have seen just bank set up. Let them break us down and let's hit them on the counter with Dan James and Rafinha and Gelhardt up front. That would have been my thing. I would have put a bank of 4, put 3 central midfielders in Shackleton, Bate, and Forshaw. See if they can break us down, and then go from there. Going man to man against Manchester United, you saw the space we was giving them. It's self sabotage at the best of times. It really is. But yeah, let's go to more. Yeah, I'm puzzled. I don't know if anyone else is puzzled. Maybe it all makes sense to you. Maybe I'm in the minority. Stephen LC, shout out to you in Houston, Steve. Personally, I'm tired of focusing on the things that weren't done in the window. That puts more focus on game day decisions. Dropping Rafinha, your best player, from the starting 11 was baffling. Yeah, we can't keep on going on about the window. We can't. I'm not really going to touch on it today. But yeah, you have to deal with what you've got today, and leaving a 70 million pound asset on the bench who's your danger man doesn't make sense. Freddie Mac, KG, Bielsa will not adapt or change. Yeah, I don't think he's going to adapt either. And that was the thing as well. Looking at it yesterday, you saw those teams. They either had a change in manager or a change in squad personnel. Our gamble is that we've stuck with what we've got, and it's gonna be a squeaky bum time, as somebody once said. It will be. It will be. Nick Norton, true. Apart from West Ham, Harrison has been off it. Yeah, and I do like Jack. I really do. But if you're giving me the choice of who to drop, it's him every time. German Munoz, Firpo, energy and fight, but he was caught out of position a lot, creating huge holes in the back. Firpo was not good today. He wasn't good at all. Lee Smith could have been an attitude with Rafinha this week. It could have been. I mean, listen, we've plainly seen that Rafinha's mind hasn't fully been on the job since he's come back from Brazil, and we're hearing the contract rumors here and there. So there could be a mix of everything. But I'm just saying, you're more likely to get your one moment of quality out of Rafinha than you are out of Jack Harrison. At this. It's sometimes it's just as simple as that, and we're not really in a position where we can drop Rafinha when we've got Calvin Phillips out and say let's go. It don't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. Let's have a look. What is going on here? Just going through. Michael Pollard saying a decent number 2 would have sorted all these issues out. Bielsa doesn't accept any outside advice. He's looking at homework all night and can't see the answers in front of him. Right. Uh, Super chat from Chronicle. Shout out to you, man. There are championships sides who could restrict Man U because they would accept they are underdogs and make themselves harder to beat by adapting. And Chronicles, great super chat, and thank you for that. That's what I'm talking about in terms of adaptation. When you are one of the worst teams in the league, and people, if you haven't accepted that, please accept it. We are one of the worst teams in the league at this stage. You have to adapt and make yourself harder to beat, which is why I said I would go for the pure counter attack every time against Manchester United at home. Yes, it's against what we used to, but everything's down. Everyone keeps talking about we've got one way of playing, but the way of playing is not working this season. And also all the running stats, the goals, everything has gone down. The pressing stats are all in the mud. So there has been adaptation to the system, but just not in the positive way that we want it to be. So you have to account for that, and you just wonder why it's not being seen. Why we haven't made the changes like we did in the second half of last season. It's just very frustrating, especially when you know we was going to hold at least another three, and at least another 3 goals today. HWH, probably Rafinha doesn't want to sign. That's why he's dropped. It's all okay. I mean, that could be true, but we're seeing at other clubs where Paul Pogba hasn't signed a new contract at Man United. He's free to go. Eddie Nketiah at Arsenal, he's free to go, but he's still being played. Sometimes you just have to play the players that you've got who are your better players. Not saying Eddie Nketiah is better for Arsenal, by the way, but sometimes you just have to play your best players and let the background things, put them on the back burner. Maybe talk again in the summer, but don't let it affect your in season. That would be my thing anyway. Um, Let me see. Gilbert saying not using the concussion sub sums up Bielsa, making the game harder than it needs to be. That isn't just on Bielsa though, Gilbert. There's other managers that haven't used that concussion sub when they should have, and that's what I said at the start. I think there's still a lot more work to be done when it comes to concussions in sports in general. I just think it's going to be something where, unfortunately, it's going to take something very bad to happen to somebody before they really tighten up the rules and make the changes on behalf of the teams themselves. I think it's going to take something like that. Sanderson, shout out from the Coppish show. Today it was the team selection that killed you, in my opinion. Yeah, it was. Day, Gelhart should have started. Yep, for me too. For me too. You saw when he came on, he gave us a threat straight away, but yeah. What can we do? What can we do? James Black, hope Auto was squirming in his seat. Our midfield needs refreshing with quality. Well, James, see, this is the thing. I don't blame Auto on this one. I just don't believe in Victor's nature that he would have gone all month without bringing anyone in. I think the final decisions fall on Bielsa, but as I said, it's a collective. Sometimes you might need to go over Bielsa's head and say, no, we're getting this player in. But listen, we'll see how that all works out come the end of the season. We'll have a big talk about it. McAllister Bishop, do you think we'll get relegated, KG? Be honest with us, bro. The thing is for me, McAllister, it's just I don't know where the next points are coming from. You know what I mean? It's tough for me to see. And when people are saying we had a 7 point gap and everything else like that, it's like, yeah, we do, but there's every chance that that will get shrunk. And we've got some very tough games. No one expected Watford to beat Villa. No one expected Burnley to beat Brighton. And Burnley have got, say, 3 games in hand. It's tough. I think, will we do enough? Just enough? Maybe. But it's not going to be pretty. It won't be pretty. And I just don't know where the next points are coming from. We've got Liverpool next, and we've got Spurs on Saturday. Are we going to get any points out of those 2 games? You know, does anyone think so? Let me know. It's just Liverpool, no chance. Let's just get that out of the way. We are not getting anything against Liverpool. I'm laughing because I just tried to think maybe we could go to Anfield and sneak. No, we ain't sneaking nothing, man. Come on now. It's just tough. I just don't know. We're gonna trickle over to safety. I think that's gonna be it. I do. But am I super confident though, McAllister and everyone else? No, Not as confident as I was saying December, November, all them times where I thought we'd get some bodies in and get back on track. Now this is our season. This is what we are, and we've conceded so many goals. It's ridiculous. Mark Baker saying the goals we ship should tell you that the system doesn't work. Change it. Yeah. Um, Shout out to all the feedback in the comment section. This is really good. Listen, if everyone can just smash the like on on the video, all you need to do is just minimize the video, smash a like, and it all helps the channel out, helps me out. So thank you for your support. That's ongoing as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and let's get back in to your feedback. Dan Savage, KG, it's not working against 80% of teams. Talent is beating hard work at the moment, and Leeds need to change, or we will go down. As if this was Norwich, we would laugh and thinking they're gone. There's a lot of things, Dan. There's a lot of things that we've done this season where we would laugh if it was other teams, and I'm telling you this for a fact. There's so many things that we've been doing that if other teams were doing it, we'd be laughing our heads off. But because it's us, there's always a reason or an excuse behind it. There's always something that because of this, because of that. Whereas sometimes you just need to say, let's change something. Let's change the way that we're playing, and let's just try and stay in the league. That's what it's all about now. It's about survival for us. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Talent will always beat hard work when the hard work is just running around with no quality. It will be. You saw that today. I mean, this is an extreme example with someone like Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. Of course, it's very extreme, but we've seen it in other games. We saw it against Everton. You know, you see it. You're going to see that throughout the season where we just don't have the quality. So things, when we play, we need to play 100% every single game in order to get something out of the game. That's just the way it is for us. Let's go through. Hisham saying, I think we need to have a debate on Ayling. As much as we love him, he hasn't been the most reassured figure at the back for quite a number of weeks now. It's been pretty much all season, Hisham. But no one wants to talk about it because it's one of the promotion favourites. So, but that was one area where I thought we could have upgraded in January, but we are where we are now. So, what can we do? What can we do? But yeah, Ayling hasn't been solid at all. He's not getting up and down. He's not giving us an outlet from right back in terms of crosses into the box. Yeah, it's all mad. It's all mad. Let me just get a sip of my coffee. Yeah, just keep on giving me your thoughts, man. We'll keep going through. PBDS KG Raff will leave in the summer. He won't be happy with being on the bench. Yeah, I just don't think he's happy in general. I don't think he's happy in general. You can't really blame him. Somebody of his talent shouldn't be where we are in the league. He shouldn't be. He deserves better. Vic Vinegar. So let's say 12 more points to stay up. Where are we getting those 3 wins and 3 draws from? No idea, Vic. That's what I'm saying. We just don't know at this moment in time. Luke, adding to Hisham's comment, I'm surprised Ayling hasn't gotten more stick. He's been far off it from last season. Yeah. Yeah, Freddie Mac, KG, what must losing week after week be doing to the psyche of the team? And this is something I mentioned before, and it was something when we got beat by Man City 7-0, and there were some people saying it doesn't matter if you lose 7-0 or 1-0 or 2-0, a loss is a loss. And it's like, no, that's just not true. Because if you're getting beat heavily week after week, it's going to mess with your confidence. See, that's the problem with a lot of fans. They don't think about it from a human point of view or a footballer point of view. They just think about it from, oh, we'll just move on from that one and go on to the next game. But if you're constantly shipping goals the way that we're shipping them, it's going to create a little bit of low confidence, a bit of confusion amongst the players, especially when we're swapping the whole defensive system just because of one substitution. I don't think it's very helpful, and I don't think the players being left out that are being left out in favor of some of the others is being helpful either. But that's a whole other subject. Um, let's just go through some more of your comments. Jazz saying, hi, KG, great show. I feel Bielsa has brought us up, but I think he will send us back down and then we'll walk away in the summer. Ooh. Yeah, well, this is the thing as well. This is what I meant as well at the start in regards to people supporting Bielsa more than Leeds. I've lost count of how many times I've seen. If Leeds go down, I don't care as long as Bielsa's still here, which is an insane statement to me. Why you want to see your team go down just because you keep hold of a manager is crazy. But for me, my thinking is I don't think he's going to be here in the summer anyway, whether we stay up or go down. But if we go down, he's definitely not going to be up for another year of the championship. No chance. I don't see that at all. So I think people kind of need to get that one out of their heads, thinking that Bielsa will stay here if we ever did get relegated. Touch wood, we don't. But I think it's a pipe dream to think that he'll come down and do the whole thing again. I just don't see it happening. Wi-Fi saying counter attack against City last season was awesome. Exactly. We were down to 10 men in that game, Wi-Fi. But that's what we were doing. We were doing that a lot more in the second half of last season, just playing smarter football, playing football where it wasn't so easy to just get through us. That's what we were doing last season, but it's we've just played one way this season, all season long, and well, here we go. Kruthick, Kruthick. I hope I'm saying that right. Am I the only one who feels so much more confident that we would make something happen when go out on the pitch? No, you're not. But it's something I mentioned on another Premier League show I did. Anybody else in the where we are right now would be playing Gelhart in the with the state our squad is in with Bamford out and putting Dan James up front. No one else would do that, man. It's just us. You're not utilizing your best assets. And for me, Gelhart, he showed again in the second half just how dangerous he is, how much of an attacking threat he is going forward. But there's only so many times we can beat this drum. It's all old news. It's nothing that I haven't said before. Uh, okay, Scooby saying he agrees with the decision about Raf helped keep us fresh. Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, Alison Amati Adam, shout out to you guys. It was Marcelo being stubborn, right? Torchman, I agree, KG. I don't think the problem lays with Orta. No, I don't. I don't either. I really don't. Uh, man, wow. No one's got any confidence in us getting anything from the next two games. Wow. Jesus. Wow. Right. Tom saying it would be heartbreaking if we went down. I believe that if we don't go down, we can eventually fight on and become a top club. If we go down this season, we'll turn into one of those yo-yo clubs. Tom, if we go down, we're not coming straight back up. No chance. It's not happening, Tom. We won't be like Norwich. We won't because we won't be able to keep our best assets like Norwich have done. We just won't. All our better ones will be off. Melier, Phillips, Rafinha, they'll all be gone. Whereas Norwich they got to keep Cantwell, Max Aarons, and all those guys. We won't do that. We just won't. But that was it for me as well. When you looked at some of the packages when we saw the game today in terms of Leeds Man United, I always hear that what would you rather do? Be playing these games like where we are now or playing Yeovil, which is for me is again another argument that is just so basic because I could take it back and say, well, when I first started supporting Leeds, we were going for European places. So and then people that were watching before me can talk about the great 70s teams. Like how long do you want to just keep on harping on about what we were doing 3 years ago? You have to move on with the times, and that's unfortunately where we are right now. Some people just don't want to move on. But just looking at those teams that we had back then in the packages versus Man United with the Kules and the Courts and all those guys, it's like chalk and cheese, and that's eventually where I want to see us go back to. But we need to stay in the Prem to do that. So fingers crossed, we'll do just enough. That's all we can hope for at this moment in time with the current squad. Viral plugs. Bruno has our number. I don't like facing him. Yeah, Fernandez he's killed us every time, hasn't he? Well, apart from the 0-0 draw at Elland Road last season, because I remember that one where Calvin Phillips absolutely shut him out. But that's what you got. That's what you get when you have a quality player like that on the pitch. He absolutely locked out Bruno Fernandez in that game. So, Graham Noble, we're gonna have to the three worst teams, saving grace maybe Brentford. Yeah, Brentford are slipping. Brentford are free falling. But that's the thing as well. Think about how bad Brentford have been over the past couple of months, but yet they're still above us. So again, that shows you in the kind of company we're keeping this season overall. Torture and KG keeping it real as always. Always, you'll never listen. There's so many things you could say here, but yeah, I'll always keep it real, man. Always. Paul saying, Cage, you and I have been spot on with our criticism this year when other podcasts are saying we'll be safe. There are worse teams than us. We both agreed last summer there were red flags for us. Yeah, this isn't me being reactionary or nothing like that. It's long-term thinking. It's just about knowing the Premier League and knowing your opposition and knowing your own squad as well, and that things need to freshen up. But when you say those kind of things, people think that you're crazy, man. They think, how can you criticize the club? It's not criticism of the club, but listen, it's just calling it how you see it. Call it how you see it. Tom saying, KG, last season on this channel, we had so much optimism and hope. How much the season changes. Yeah. We just have to hope we survive now, Tom. That's our optimism. Just hope that we do enough to stay up and see what happens in the summer. That's all we can do. But we need to get through these games first. But yeah, you're right. That's the one thing that I'm pretty sad about, Tom, in that the channel's grown a bit since last season, and I just wish that people had seen what we was like last season, just buzzing. Like even in games where we lost, it was like valiant efforts in the last where you thought, yeah, we've lost this one, but the next game we're going to come back. Whereas this season, we haven't really had the luxury of saying that. So it is unfortunate, Tom, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Juggers Farmer, hey KG, hey man, and hey to everyone in the chat, man. It's lively. I can't even keep up with the comments. Not even gonna lie, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. There was one there. I've just missed it now. Let me just get into the latest comments here. Shout out to Sean. KG, do you feel nervous for Liverpool away? Absolutely, I do. Yeah, because as good as as good as Manchester United are, above our level, Liverpool are streets ahead. And as I say, even though Norwich did all they could yesterday in terms of come and break us down, once the floodgates opened, it was on. And you just think with Liverpool, what they did to us at Elland Road earlier this season, people forget because it was 3-0. It sounds okay, but their shooting was just off that day. Always remember Mane having 10 chances to add 9 in total overall. Yeah, I'm nervous about Liverpool, definitely, Sean. Absolutely. Sam S, the mental gymnastics justifying Bielsa's decisions are cult-like. Yeah, yeah, that's a good way of describing it, Sam. It is almost like a cult-like thing. But again, and I hate doing this because you always have to just. I love Bielsa, I do. I love him for what he's done in terms of getting us up, but you have to adapt to your new surroundings, and I just don't think that's been done, especially this season. I just don't think it's been done. Uh, Let's have a look. Man United fan in here. Oh, it's Alanga. Oh, yeah, very good, Ted. Nice one. More saying, why are we not demanding better? We are asking for championship football. Yeah, I demand better all the time, but listen, we can't do anything now more. This is the squad we've got, so we have to try and get the best out of what we currently have. So the time for demanding better it's gone. It's gone. But I get exactly what you mean. I've said it many times. I think that some Leeds fans' expectations of what we deserve in the Prem and what you expect as a good game from a player is on the floor. I think the bar is set really, really low. But I think that will just come in time with more years that you have in the Prem and realizing just exactly what you need in order to progress. I do. I think that's what it is. Because I maintain, I do think a lot of Leeds fans just purely watch Leeds United, and that doesn't give you a big picture of what football is all about. It just doesn't. Um, Listen, man, we've gone 50 minutes. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, this is a long one. This is a long therapy session. But how is everybody doing after this game today? Because, like I say, for me, I'm disappointed with the loss. I'm disappointed with how the starting lineup was, but I'm not as annoyed as I was versus Everton. But how is everyone else feeling in regards to this game? And if you're not watching the live stream, please give me your thoughts in the feedback as well. Bowie Doctor saying, no surprise they're beaten by quality again. Therefore, oh, I think it was. Wall saying, gutted, glad we equalised. Yeah. Yeah, Jive. I was more peed off against the Toffee men. Yeah, same here. Same here. Ian, disappointed but expected. Fair. Fair. Big Man, he thought the performance was a lot better than has been recently. Yeah, fair. D Turley, we lost. We deserve to lose. Take Lucky Rodrigo goal out of it, and again, we embarrassing Firpo. Shocking. Yeah. Paul O'Connell at 2-2. I was all set for a Royal Rovers style Girl Heart winner. That would have been beautiful. That would have been beautiful, man. But Sam S, disappointed but not surprised. Bielsa decisions every week now costing us. Stephen Hay, we should try an 8-man block versus Liverpool and go for the break with James and RAPHINHA. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. We try and go man for man against Liverpool. It's going to be a long game. It's going to be very long. Athena, I was holding out for a 90th minute Dan James goal, but rest in peace. Oh man, wow. It seems to be pretty mixed, man. It seems to be pretty mixed. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long. I feel like I'm waffling now. Go and get the syrup. I'm just waffling. So I think I'm going to end it here. And we go again in a few days against Liverpool. No time for too much rest. We go against Liverpool next. So yeah, listen, people. I don't know if I'm going to do a preview for that. Maybe I will, because I'm sure there'll be things that I'll need to clear up from this video. Because I can imagine the start of it won't have gone down very well with the people that just staunchly defend Bielsa no matter what he does. But listen, we move. Yeah. Listen, in summary, Leeds 2, Man United 4. And yeah, we move. That's all I can say. Listen, I'm waffling. I'm going. Absolute waffle. Put the syrup on me, I'm waffling. So listen, people, thanks for tuning in. Peace out, and I will see you on the next video, whenever that will be. Peace out.